A colonial exhibition was a type of international exhibition that was held to boost trade. During the 1800s and beyond, colonial exhibitions had the additional aim of bolstering popular support for the various colonial empires during the new imperialism period. The first colonial exhibition was in Victoria, Australia in 1866 and was the progeny of 25 years of similar exhibitions also held in Melbourne, in which other countries. And down here we have a list of all the different colonial exhibitions. And so some of these we have had a look at, like Sydney, but there's quite a few of these and they're not put under the World Exhibition title. But what I wanted to have a look at today was the exposition that was in Marseille in 1922. And this is what we get. We don't have an exact article for that, so and when we click on this to have a look at the 1922 exhibition, we get that there's not enough information. So there's not a lot I can tell you about this. Now there are a couple of sites that talk about it, but they're all in French, and I don't read French, unfortunately. So if anyone wants to sort of get a background on this, would be helpful. But what I thought is some of the buildings at this place are just incredible. So I thought we would have a pictorial look at the Marseille's, at the exposition Colonial de Marseille at the 1922 Colonial Exposition in Marseille. Okay, so this is a picture from Marseille, from the World Exhibition, and as you can see we get the same kind of ridiculous scenario. Now we have one of the controllers standing here in a nice little pose, feeling very cool. We have the old ladder lean over here and workers, and look at this worker. He's like got his little wheelbarrow, and what's he sweeping up? Dirt. He's got a pile of dirt there, because look at these streets. You can see the lines from the carts, horse and carts. So it's just dirt, but we have all these poles everywhere, and then we have like this. So over here we have like a cornucopia, some cherubs. This lady as well is holding a bag of food, another cornucopia. And up here, this lady's holding an ice cream. No, a torch, obviously. I'm not sure who she's representing, but if you look around, this, especially up here, it's got grapes everywhere. Over here, where was it? Up here, grapes. See, so these people here are holding grapes as well, these two ladies. Down here, we see this sort of botanical facading a lot, but this looks a lot more food-like. It looks like it's got fruit and things and grapes. There's some grapes there rather than just the leaves. So I thought I'd point that out. And look at this building. There is a dome in the back there, and just perfect symmetry. I mean, look at this doorway. Nice cross up here. and no doubt, you know, it's had some refacading done, but I very much doubt they've built all these. So all those signs, you know, now if this is, and look, completely mud flooded, by the way, windows going into the ground, of course, completely underneath all these arches above, so they would have been arches, no doubt, and they've bricked up. You can see they've bricked them up. Lower windows again, going in pretty much down to the ground. So this building, I would say, in the old world, had something to do with food and growing food, because that's what the symbolism is telling us. It's covered in food, cornucopias. I mean, it's like an entranceway, isn't it, to an amazing food market. Okay, so there you go. And here we have another part of the exposition. And again, look at this, just, you know, sort of messy roads. This isn't level. There's a window down here. We've got our old ladder. They've been up facading. And look at how dirty this bit here is. Looks very old and dirty. I mean, have they? Looks like they're covering it in something. Maybe they are. But see how this looks like they've cleaned this bit up? But they haven't got to this yet, or this middle bit. And then this is probably a bit whiter because it's marble, I would think. So again, it looks like a Lady Liberty type in front of a big amplifier, speaker thing. And just a random, like, where's the building? There's not attached to anything. Very strange. And look, we've got one of, don't know what these are, but there's one on each side. Who knows? Fireworks. And then we get this, and this is the, I believe it's the Indo-China building. It's called the Indo-China Pavilion. Indo-China Pavilion, 1922, Marseille, Colonial World Exhibition. And I mean, look at this. Are we in Thailand? No, we are not. This is France in 1922, guys. And again, I don't have the story, so I'm not sure how long they're saying the construction for this was. But look at that. Got our spire on the top. Fractal stacking all the way down. And then, you know, what is that? I mean, seriously. Built for an exhibition, it would be the story. And no doubt, I've never heard of this being there still, so no doubt it was knocked over. But I mean, how's this? Like, how, you know, sort of, you know, Southeast Asian, Thai sort of is this, you know, these columns. But then we come over here and we get, you know, the Greco-Roman kind of look. I mean, just look at this. all the layering, and it looks like they may be inlaid, or I'm not sure, something's going on there. Statues everywhere, and it looks like it's, yeah, got a courtyard, like it's a castle sort of type setup. But look at the corners on it. I mean, this thing is ridiculous, and for size, that's a person. So you can see this is a pretty big, serious structure. And then of course we have these station house, pump houses or something. Got one, got another one here. So this, some ponds, maybe. Is that a greenhouse? I don't know, maybe they've got birds in there. And of course, an octagon. Octagons everywhere, right? And there's, what's that, a mini castle out the front. I mean, that's ridiculous. And also, I'd just like to point out these trees. These are big trees. There's some more over here. Now, if they're saying that they built this, if it is the same story, like I said, I can't find the actual English version of the story. But, if it's the same old thing, we just found land and built it, well, what about the trees? And look at this big building at the back there. Just, the same thing we see everywhere. Part of the old world setup. And of course, in the background, they've started burning stuff. Through what were probably, I don't know, water towers or something. Here's another shot of that. And here's another angle of that building. You can see the intricacy up here. And look, so it's definitely got the Thai sort of, or branding imagery. Look at these. Just everything's so precise. Are these lion heads? All the way along. I mean, they even line up with these curved, these furrowed bits at the top. I mean, this is just ridiculous. Do you not agree? Water pool out the front. Water tank, holding pool. So what really was this? Clearly a different function to the one that we just had a look at, which looked like it was branded as food. This one, not sure, but no doubt, I mean, if this is original symbolism, which of course we don't know, but no doubt it was telling us what it does. Now, and here we have some of the happy people that were apparently brought in to spread the narrative of different cultures. They've got some of their old antiquitech pots and things. I mean, look at these pots. They're the same as what we see on the buildings. Were these self-powered as well somehow? And all these guys. This is not a photo op, by the way. It's just a normal day down at the Expo. Everyone looking pretty happy. And this is, of course, what they did. They brought in cultures from all over the place and set them up, they put them in little stores. You can see they've got their rugs. This is the rugs they use. This is how they cook. This is how they dress, because see, they're all dressed the same. This is their hats. No top hats for these people. this is that same building again, the food building. Here we have a man in a hat strolling by, probably one of the usurpers. We've got some workers over here, got their wheelbarrow. I'm not sure, they might be putting these plants in, these little plants, but of course who put this in? Right, this tree. You think they brought that in on their little wheelbarrow with their little shovel? I don't think so. This facading, still looking pretty botanical. That's as far as I can zoom in, so I can't see if there's any food in there. But the whole look of the building, very sort of food-like, right? Lots of fruit and stuff growing. So now, is that one of the reasons why, buildings like the Crystal Palace, which I've done videos on, and I've proposed that it was just a big greenhouse, big glass house, which it was a glass house. Was that for growing food? Because we've got pictures, and there were full-size trees inside there. So you can imagine with a greenhouse that big, a glass house, you could grow full-size whatever you wanted. So is this what was going on? More workers here. Don't look like they know what they're doing. And I'm not sure what's happening with all these branches. It must have been windy or something. There's broken branches everywhere. Bit of a mess. So they're clearly cleaning up. This is clearly before it's opened. What have we got here? Okay, we've got the man, we've got the modern tech, and they are delivering all these. Isn't that interesting? We have our skilled craftsmen here, and a pile of wood, or is that maybe a buggy that couldn't take the strain? What are these, like pillars? I mean, what these look like, these are probably things that went inside these buildings, I would think. Because if they're just getting them off, like where's the machinery to move these? So they must be fairly light. So I'm not thinking they're solid rock, and they look different to, could be newer, but yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Have to see if we can find some photos of the interior. Bleh. And of course, what World's Fair Colonial Expo is complete without a Moorish castle and a group of controllers. Oh, and look, weren't all Caucasians. There you go. Is that guy on his iPhone? So look at these guys, all dressed the same, all in the same clothes, all in the same hats. These two not. These are workers, no doubt. Oh, is he being accosted? What are you doing? Oh. Yeah, that's an interesting photo. And a castle. Look at this Moorish door. Just the same stuff everywhere. Just geometry, patterns, fractals. I mean, that corner, just looking at that corner, imagine the work that would take to do that when you could just have a square corner. So there's clearly a reason. So look, what does that do to these towers? It turns them into 1, 2, 3, 4, into octagons. Interesting. And here's another shot of the castle. You can see, fairly big, got its big tower in the middle, of course. And of course, you know, bit of domage. Got our balls up there and our spire. And just covered in. And this is the more sort of what we call a sort of more Moorish kind of look, but it's probably, you know, just different regions just had their own style. These trees, I mean, these may have been planted. Look, it looks like there's a bit of dirt around them actually. They're not looking too healthy. They've obviously had to cut them right back. You can see like they've just planted stumps, and this is just resprouting, and they're not that big. So this is, you know, what, 3 or 4 meters probably at least from this guy. So it's not a huge tree. Look at these though. These old poles that they've repurposed and just hung all their lights off. Not sure what that sign is. That looks like a Maserati sign. And here we have a very nice house. Look at this. This is just pretty cool. Oh, who's up the top there sitting on a ball? We have an eagle. Eagle on the ball, which we see a lot. Very common symbolism. Look at this. Haven't seen something like this before. This is like a, I don't know, what do you think? Something comes out of there, sound, air, water, doorway, and of course the odd ladder lane. That's a big ladder. And this is, I think, what happened at these World Fairs is we had people like this, you know, not looking very skilled, no tools really. You can see they got their little plants. So these are the plants that they were planting, that they were putting in, not these big trees. Oh, these two actually, look, see how they've been cut? And now they've resprouted, so those they have. But when you see the big actual trees like that one there, that would have been there. But yeah, look, what are they doing? They've got their, you know, this is clearly a finished building. And this is the problem. We get all these pictures and this would be put forward as a construction photo. But they're not constructing anything. They might be refacading. They've got their, you know, their ladders and their formwork so they can get up, probably just to repaint or something. Who knows? But they do not look like the builders of this building, do they? Let's put it that way. And this picture, this is at the Indochina exhibition building that we saw before. Not the best work. What's going on there? Rubbish. I mean, and what is this? It looks like they've been chipping off the, you know, the covering, the facade, the rendering. It looks like it's all been smashed off the bricks. The bricks, you know, look like they've been smashed. They're hollow. Not sure what that means. And these have been taken out. And then we've got clearly, you know, Chinese-looking imagery. And here we have the Chinese ladies getting flowers from, oh, this dodgy-looking dude. Oh, he's not looking. Oh, God. He only has eyes for her. That's not very good. And yeah, a bunch of these dudes. I mean, who are these dudes? They're in all the world's expo, you know, they're everywhere. All the empty city photos, these dudes. And they've all got hats, and of course, you know, is this a rank? Does, you know, is the top hat like the higher dudes who have sold their souls? And these are like the lower ranked guys? And then even when you get lower, you've got to push the bits in. I don't know, what do you think? Because they've always got hats. Always got their long coats, you know, black. Who knows? And here, look at this. Again, it looks like, do you reckon they've ripped the render off? You know, to refacade it, to make it maybe look like they built it, or just to change the look. Or is it a new construction? Who knows? Because look at the layering, right? Solid holes, solid holes. So it looks like some kind of, I don't know, resistor, capacitor sort of setup, something. More controllers. Oh look, we've caught one of the cameramen sent in there to take all the photos. This guy's going, hey, you're supposed to be over here taking a photo of me. What are you doing? And this is obviously African, Middle Eastern kind of building, because you can see they've got everyone dressed up the same to let us know that this is what they look like from this country. Because of course when you go to a country, everyone's exactly the same, right? That's what they want us to think. Every different culture and different type of person, they all originated in different places. There was no common culture, or so they say. But yeah, the dodgy dudes. Here's another shot of the castle, and this is while they're doing it up. Here we go, another imported tree they've brought in. Here we go. This is the workers. Look like they're re-rendering, refacading. Another one of these. What is that? It looks like some kind of... Oh, is that a tree in there? Okay, that's a palm tree. Well, there you go. And they've put that on it because no doubt it's got the big spiky fronds. There you go. Mystery solved. Men in hats, obviously inspecting the work. And yeah, just dirt everywhere. This is the building site, and they're just painting the walls. And I mean, up here, look how dirty this is looking already. If this is, you know, supposed to be a brand new building. I cannot read French. Society France. This is no doubt who's building it. Okay, the enterprise of de Nord and de l'Est. Oh, okay, what have we got here? Nah, I thought they might be. Oh, maybe they are building a facade bit, but you can see in the background that the arch is already done, and already the whole thing's actually already done. But it looks like they're putting that in. Okay, I think we saw that photo before, didn't we? Nice fence. So this is what they could build to keep people out, right? This fence. But they could build this too. No doubt they could build that. again, now I think, I'm not sure if this is the same castle. Actually, I don't think it is. It's got different, you know, these bits on the top of the walls are different. This, look, they've turned it into a mud hut looking thing. And they've got the wood coming out like you see in Northern Africa, even up on the towers. Now, I mean, look at the size of these trees for starters. These have not been transplanted. These are part of the original setup. Probably an old boulevard. They've been doing a bit of trimming, cutting the trees down. So that's an interesting pic. This is a worksite pic. Just dirt everywhere being dug out, ladders, bits of wood. And that's the interesting thing as well, isn't it? Is it's all wood. You know, they've got all these bits of wood that they're using to build things and arches. But this, you know, this structure, this isn't wood. This is masonry. Alright, now here's a wider shot of this amazing temple thing. You can see in the inside it's been roofed. Got a cross in there. And then we've got these little houses which it looks like they're building. Look at that. Looks like he's building this little archway. So they may have built these, who knows? They may be remnants. But this, I don't think so. I really don't. And look at this. So these are shots, you know, and it's the same thing, right? Oh, look at that. So they're up on the lamppost. So it actually, look, these have just, they're all surrounded with scaffolding. It looks like they've just been repainted. Doesn't look like that, you know, because that's not, you don't need this to put them up. And why wouldn't you paint them all first, right? If they're brand new, why would you need this scaffolding up around them? You just get them up. And you do that by pulley systems, I would think, back in the day. Here's the tech of the day again, a couple of wooden wheelbarrows, horse and cart, just cart, or, you know, not a horse, but a cart, another cart. So no tech at all. This is 1922, so not as early as some of them. And look at this, we've got our Chinese looking lion, and this looks like an Indian symbol, like Vedic, the Naga symbol, with, is it Shiva that sits in front of it? And the serpents, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 serpents. Interesting. I mean, obviously, it's all to time with this, but that, China, Indonesia, I don't know. Bit off. But we've got more of these everywhere. They've obviously planted a lot of these. God, they're not looking too healthy, but I'd say they've planted a lot of those trees or plants. Not these big ones, but that's just, you know, I wish I could find some writing on what the story of this is. So if you can read French, please do a search for me and let me know what the deal is. Feel free to translate anything and send it my way. Here we have another shot. You can see more transplanted trees coming in. Got a nice dome here. Octagon with a dome. Men in hats everywhere. Oh, looks like this controller's brought his wife down to have a look. Must be family day for the controllers, maybe. Look, they're everywhere. Got their hats on. Massive, like, oversized poles, all with these water bowls built into them. And so this is that building that we saw before, that they were facading and that they had the bits of wood coming out of. So if you look at this, it looks like they've covered it in mud, or, you know, like adobe. And that's all they would have to do. They just cover the outside. Put these bits of wood in, and they say, oh no, it's a North African exhibit. But really? I've never seen anything like this in, or maybe Egypt, but not really. This looks like some kind of, I don't know, cooling tower. I'm not sure what that is. I mean, that's probably just a belfry that they've just filled in. Got window there, got a bit there. So this is a thing, they can just literally go over a big building with adobe and then just say, no, this is, you know, our North African exhibit. And of course, people back in the day, the wonders of technology, just believed it and bought the story. You know, once they got their, you know, all their mates and all the controllers out to walk around and spread the story. Oh yeah, no, we just built this. But I'm not so sure. Look at this bit here too. These columns. See how they're curved? Just like you see in places like the Vatican. And here we have more of cultures being introduced. This would be Egyptian, I'm guessing. Maybe somewhere from the Middle East. Dress them up, got their hats, got their little wares. Yep, this is what they do. This is how they dress, got their little shops. Just a complete setup, a movie set. Just a movie set. Alright, now this is actually Marseille, just a general shot of Marseille in 1922. Nice aerial shot. I just thought it interesting because look how built out this place is. Domes. I mean, that's a massive building. Look at the size of that compared to the buildings around it. Look at this one. And just completely built out. In 1922. This is Marseille, the port of Marseille. And look at this building down here, right on the water. And looks like we've got another photographer. So I found that interesting. A few more controllers for you. These are the head honchos, right? With the tall hats. Have they got cone heads under there? And I just go through this one too. Been going a little while here. So this building it's again down at the docks of Marseille. Major aerial plan. I'm not really sure what this building is called, but look at this photo. So this is down on the docks. This is the water. We've got a boat here, so right on the waterline. And look at this building. Now, apart from the fact that it's pretty amazing, I just want to point out what it's sitting on. See how it's sitting on this base? Now we see this quite a bit. This same kind of base was underneath the Crystal Palace, and we see it underneath a lot of buildings. We see the top of it maybe underneath buildings. Even in Paris in the 70s, in the whole of Paris, when they dug that massive hole, that was a much bigger structure, but there were structures like this underneath. Is this how they used to build their foundations? Is this part of the foundation system, and then the buildings sit on top? Because we have buildings, that, we sort of just see that part of them, or we just see that part of them, or maybe we see most of it like that, and some we see this lower level. Now this is water level, so I'm thinking this probably doesn't go down too much further. So is this the deal? Because we know these are more than buildings. These are machines, right? They're energy collecting machines, connected into ethereal energy, connected into the water system. So there needed to be, wires and pipes and tunnels and things. And was that all underneath here in these basements that also acted as the foundations? And is that why, if it was liquefaction that happened, is this why maybe they could sink straight without tilting because they had these huge foundations? I don't know. Maybe these bottom bits even filled up and sort of, I don't know. Who knows? Just theorizing. I'm not sure if it was liquefaction, but I found that very interesting, that picture. So there you go, guys. Just a bit of a look at 1922 Marseille Colonial Exposition. Lots of, out of place buildings. Like I said, I haven't got the story. It's all in French. But just this building here, that is enough to raise quite a few questions. That is ridiculous. It's like a miniature Angkor Wat. It really is. So I've actually got a ton more I couldn't find anything written on this expo, but I found so many pics. This isn't even half of them that I've shown you, so I may do a part 2 or run through them in a live, just because pretty good pictures, some amazing stuff going on, and lots of the pics of the cleanup, what they would like us to believe was the construction. And clearly this is, a clean-up site. We've got the controllers, the foreman walking around, got the workers being told what to do. And again, why would you build scaffolding around a pole if it's brand new? It should already be painted and looking pristine. So many questions. Here's some more scaffolding. Oh, they're putting up the Chinese stuff. All right, so there you go, guys. Thanks for spending some time with me. I hope you enjoyed that. Also, please, if you haven't already, subscribe, hit the bell so you are notified of future uploads. Give me a like and a comment, and please share this content around because obviously, the algorithm is not in our favor. And also another thing that you can all do to help with the algorithm, to help this information get out there, is when you do comment, you can leave keywords, and you can even hashtag them if you want to. Things like Tartaria, star forts, history reset, things that people into this kind of information would search for, and that will help me come up in the algorithms more. So please do that. I would very much appreciate it. And also, obviously, a massive thank you to everyone who does support me, all my subscribers, everyone who comments, likes, shares, and supports me through Patreon, PayPal, and my merch store. I really do appreciate you all. There are links below if you would like to help out. So thank you again for spending some time with me. Stay awesome, and I'll talk to you all on the next upload. Bye for now.